Good day. I would like to welcome you to our presentation. This presentation focuses on understanding how the human brain works during learning and how this knowledge can help improve teaching and learning in universities and colleges. The topic of the human brain is very important in education because learning itself begins in the brain. Every thought, memory, emotion, behavior, and skills that students develop is connected to brain functioning. In higher education institutions, lecturers are expected to teach students from different backgrounds, cultures, educational experiences, and learning abilities. Because of this, understanding how students learn becomes very important. Some students learn faster through practical demonstration, while others prefer discussion, visual learning, or repetition. If lecturers understand how the brain works and processes information, they can use teaching strategies that can support student success. In this presentation, we will discuss the structure of the human brain, how the brain learns, the role of memory and emotions, teaching strategies linked to brain-based learning, challenges faced in higher education, and recommendations for improving learning facilitation. Without the brain, learning would not be possible. Every day, students use their brains when attending lectures, participating in discussions, and reading textbooks or writing assignments, conducting research, and preparing for examinations. However, not all students learn in the same way. For example, some students understand information better when they see diagrams, videos, or demonstrations. These are often called visual learners. Other students learn better through listening and discussions. These students may prefer verbal explanations and classroom interactions. Some students learn better through practical activities and hands-on experience. This shows that the brain processes information differently from one individual to another. In higher education, lecturers sometimes focus only on delivering content without considering how students actually process and understand information.
Okay, it's Rakhwali BP from Group 6. I'll be discussing the human brain. So it has three parts. The first largest is the cerebrum, which functions largely on academic learning. So it is divided into two hemispheres, the right and the left. So the right will link in the functions of having imaginations, having or understanding visuals, and having emotions and enjoying music. And while the left one will function in having a logical thinking, the ability to read and write, and having the language or the capability of learning language easily. So this is why most students will prefer learning by visuals or audio, and others will prefer learning with reading and writing. And again, the cerebellum is the second largest, which functions in movement, posture, coordination, and balancing. So this is important in doing learning in practical skills. And another important one is the brainstem. So this one, it helps with blood circulation, sleeping, digestion. So it demonstrates the balance between physical health and learning. So this is why good nutrition, avoiding stress and fatigue will keep us having best functionality in learning and performance.
The human brain learns through experience, repetition, observation, interaction, and practice. The brain has billions of nerve cells, which are called neurons, and they communicate through connections known as synapses. When humans learn something new, the brain forms new neural pathways. Repetition and practice strengthens these pathways, making it easier for the brain to learn with time. Another concept that I'm going to touch on is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to adapt, recognize itself, and to form new concentrations throughout life. This means students can improve through effort, support, practice, and motivation. And also, a positive learning environment contributes as it builds up confidence and improves the student's concentration. Memory also plays a very huge role in learning. We have two types of memory. We have short-term memory or long-term memory. Short-term stores information temporarily, and long-term stores information for a long period of time. Information moves into long-term memory through repetition, revision, understanding, and meaningful learning. Students remember information better when they actively participate by revising consistently, practicing past questions, having classroom discussions, and teaching others as well. Research has also shown that students learn better through visual learning, and it improves their memory. And I'm also one of those students that learn through visuals. This is why lectures tend to use videos, presentations, infographics, diagrams to assist students to understand concepts more effectively.
Greetings, my name is Musa Shingange. In this slide, I'll be doing emotions and learning. Emotions have a powerful impact on learning and academic performance. The brain does not separate emotions from thinking and learning. The most important thing I will say, you can't teach a brain that is afraid. When a student is stressed about money, deadline, or family problem, or failing, the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, takes over. It literally cut off their logic center. Creating an emotional safe classroom isn't just being nice, it's being biological requirement for the brain to function. We have seen stress how shut the brain down. Now let's look at the flip side. How do we turn the brain back on it? Brain-based teaching strategies are the teaching method designed according to how the brain naturally learns. There are strategies that bridge the gap between the biological science and the classroom success. The first strategy is active learning, which encourages students to participate directly in learning process through discussions, presentation, and debate. Secondly, we use collaborative learning. When students explain a concept to a peer in a group setting, it forces their brain to recognize what the information they have learned, making their memory stronger. Thirdly, we embrace visual and technology. Remember, the brain processes images 60,000 times faster than text. Using diagrams, simulations, and videos isn't cheating, it's efficient delivery. And finally, we must include brain breaks. The human brain cannot maintain a concentration of over 120 straight. The short breaks allow the brain to move information from active buffer into a long-term storage.
Good day, my name is Mpapure RN. I'll be representing slide number 8, which is challenges in higher education. So, although many teaching strategies exist, students still face several challenges that affect learning in higher education. One major challenge is information overload. So, in which means university students receive large amount of information within short period of time. So, managing lectures, assessments, tests, project research, and personal responsibilities simultaneously can overwhelm students mentally and emotionally. So another challenge we're gonna look at digital distractions. So these are another challenge, uh, which are social media, smartphones, and constant notifications, which reduce attention span and concentration. For example, students may struggle to focus during lectures because they are frequently distracted by their phones. Mental health challenges such as anxiety, depression, stress, and burnout also negatively affect learning. Financial difficulties further increase emotional pressure for many students. Students struggling with accommodation, transport, food, or tuition fees often experience additional stress that affects academic performance. And also, overcrowded classrooms and limited student support service may also reduce learning effectiveness. These challenges show that effective learning requires support beyond academics alone. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lydia Solomon. I'm going to present the slide 9, which is recommendation. To improve learning facilitation in higher education, lecturers should adopt student-centered teaching approach, Teaching methods should accommodate different learning styles and encourage active participation. The lectures should use visual aid, encourage discussion, include practical examples, provide feedbacks, and create inclusive learning environment. In higher education, should also provide counseling services, academic support program, mental health support, stress support, and stress management workshop. Technology should be used positively to improve access to information and support flexible learning. Students should also be encouraged to maintain health style through proper sleep, exercise, balanced study routine, and stress management. In other words, health brain support effective learning. Thank you. I'm also going to present slide 10, which is conclusion. In conclusion, the human brain plays very important role in learning and academic stress. Understanding how brain process information stored, memories, response to emotional adapts through elasticity can improve teaching and learning in higher education. Brain-based teaching strategies such as active learning, collaboration, visual learning, repetition, and technology integration helps to improve student understanding, encouragement, and academic performance. At the same time, challenges such as stress, digital distraction, mental health struggle, and information overload must also be addressed. Higher education institutions should therefore create support, inclusive, and encourage learning environment that promotes both academic success and student well-being. By understanding how brain works, lectures should become more effective facilitator of learning, and students can achieve better educational outcome. Thank you.